We're going to get started soon. Wait for everybody to join us. All right. Hey, everybody. I'm Nayef Mubarak with Mubarak Law. We're doing another episode of Meet the Team series, so I'm very excited about that. We will be joined by Miss Barbara Lopez in just a few minutes. But as always, I would like to briefly provide you all with some updates that I think are important to talk about. And after we meet Barbara, we are going to talk about the big announcement that the administration made that for international students who are here and their universities choose a completely online model, they're going to ask them to leave the country or face removal proceedings, or known as deportation. So before we get started with our Meet the Team, first I want to go over some other things. As we mentioned a few weeks ago, DACA was allowed to survive after the Supreme Court ruled the way it was ended was no longer valid, but the Trump administration is talking about going ahead and filing that again. We also received a new of counsel for wills, trusts, and estates. And regardless of your immigration status or where you're from or how much money you have, Attorney Ben Hunter with our office in the Hunter Law informed everybody of the importance of having these things, especially just to even living wishes. And this crazy time, God forbid anybody's hospitalized, you need to have the proper documents in order so somebody can make a decision on your behalf. So that's just really important. I am going to ask you all to follow us on our social media accounts. Please, this way it's our fastest way to get up to speed information to you all, and this way you can stay abreast to any changes that are happening. And we do also put all of these Facebook Live videos on YouTube. So if you haven't already, please subscribe. I would very much prayer emoji. Pray that you guys get us to 100 subscribers. This way, we can have our own handle with the YouTube channel. So without further ado, I'm going to bring on and start our Meet the Team series. And I'm very excited to welcome Miss Barbara Lopez. So if everybody can please say hello to Barbara. And Barbara, thank you for being here. Thank you for staying at work late. I know you've already worked 8 hours and now I'm asking you to stay. So Barbara, where were you? You are like me, you're an American born, but we know the process of immigration through family members and through our clients. But where were you born? What is your ethnic background?
Yes. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Thank you for joining. I was born in Arecibo, Puerto Rico. And essentially, I have two aunts that have an immigration background, and one of them is from Guatemala, and the other is from El Salvador.
And so before we get into immigration, we are here to meet you and talk about you. So, Barbara, what is your title at our office? And if you can give our viewers a brief understanding of what you do on a typical day.
Okay. Well, I am the receptionist, and essentially my role is I am the bridge between the clients and the legal team, essentially the lawyers and the paralegals. And I receive the clients when they come in for their initial consultations and for their meetings with the legal team. And I provide administrative support when needed. And I love it.
I tell Barbara all the time, she has one of the toughest and most important jobs in our office. A lot of times if people want to speak to their case manager, to the attorney, Barbara's the first person they speak to. So Barbara really is like your friend and advocate to get your case manager on the phone. You know, at our office, we have a 24-hour policy where we call everybody back within 24 hours. Barbara, how would you say we're doing with that? Do we usually do it same day or the next day?
We do. We try to get a hold of the clients immediately. Essentially, ideally, it would be the same day. However, time constraints, but we are the one thing that sets Mubarak Law apart from all the other law firms in the area, I'm going to say this, is the fact that we get back to our clients within 24 hours. And that is something that I'm very proud to be a part of it.
Yeah, I really appreciate you saying that. It's something that I think sometimes a lot of people struggle with. They can't get calls back from their attorney or case manager weeks at a time. And I do pride myself in kind of really delivering that. But prior to your working here, you did attend UCF, didn't you?
Yes, I graduated from UCF in 2014. I majored in Spanish.
Go Knights.
Yes, go Knights. And I minored in Latin American Studies. And Dr. Lopez, if you are watching, thank you for everything.
That's awesome. I know we all have our favorite professors or teachers, and it's great that we both brought up UCF, actually, because I'm speaking with the UCF Town Hall about the urgent, changes for F1 students tomorrow. It is exclusively for UCF students. So if you are watching and you're a UCF student, contact UCF Global, and I will be on there tomorrow for a webinar, and we'll look forward to speaking to you all. And later today, we're going to talk more about the changes. So, Barbara, so you graduated in Latin studies, is that right?
I graduated with a bachelor's in Spanish and a minor in Latin American Studies. Yes.
Okay. And how does that help you, if at all? Sometimes people get degrees and it doesn't help them. How does it help you in your work today?
Definitely, it has helped me out so much because I know different variations in the Spanish language from different countries, and I actually understand the history of Latin America a lot. And so a lot of the issues that are prevalent today were very prevalent back then. It's just that the issues didn't receive as much as attention as they do now.
Right. It is definitely, our work is very much at the forefront of the news. Prior to, UCF even and Mubarak Law, you were a Marine Corps veteran, right? You are a Marine Corps veteran, and you served Marine Corps.
Yes, I am once a Marine, always a Marine is the saying. And I served this country honorably for 2 years as a United States Marine. And it was one of the best experiences of my life.
That's incredible. And thank you for your service to our country and for your commitment to our office. You're actually the third military veteran that we have at Mubarak Law. We also have attorney Joel Caminero, and then there's previous other employees or interns who were part of our office. And I feel like, the hard work or the camaraderie that you guys possibly develop is really kind of helps you in your work today. And what would you say some things that you learned during the Marines would apply to your work and your assistance today?
Definitely. That's a really great question. Definitely the most important thing is listening actively. As a Marine, whether you are sitting behind your desk or you are out being an infantryman or woman, you have to listen actively because that can determine whether or not someone lives or whether or not someone's paperwork gets processed. It's very important. Definitely thinking quick on your feet.
Right. And I definitely see that. And as I mentioned, and surprisingly, we even have a decent amount of military clients. For those who don't know, there are special programs in place for military veterans or family members of military personnel, like Parole in Place. We've had numerous cases that we were able to really be successful and to resolve an issue that was causing a lot of stress and harm for the servicemen or women. And then now that that's resolved, they can focus on their commitment to the military. So for a lot of people, they don't know that even a step parent or a stepchild could qualify as one of these relatives to be used for an immigration benefit. So it's just, there's so many different things in immigration law that's so interesting. That wasn't a question that I was planning on asking Barbara, but it, comes up as things are developing. So Barbara, what would you say would be the favorite thing of yours to do outside of work?
Well, there are a few, but I'll just keep it to 3. First, I love to spend time with my family and friends. Whether it be going out to have a meal, watching a movie, going to the theme parks, you name it. Second, hi Willie, I love you. That's my brother.
That's nice. Brother. I can't get my siblings to watch. I mean, that's really nice of him.
Thanks, Will. Love you. Say hi to Mom. I knew he was going to do that. And of course, I have 2 beautiful dogs that I love to spend time with and do things with them. And definitely, I like going to Comic-Con and reading up on my comic books. I am a huge Wonder Woman fan.
Oh, there it is.
And, well, I keep it simple.
So for those who are just tuning in, tonight we are continuing our Meet the Team series, where every couple of weeks we bring on a team member of Mubarak Law to learn a little bit about the human being who is working so hard for your cases. And tonight is Barbara Lopez, who has been with our office just 7 months. And I do feel like I've known her for a lifetime, and I'm happy that she's with us. It might be she brings me coquito every Christmas. So maybe that's her way of getting affection. But in all seriousness, she doesn't have an easy job. People are going through stressful times, and they're going through, probably something that's the most important aspect of their life. So a lot of times that can be stressful and cause them to be sometimes not so pleasant. But Barbara completely understands. And I've probably had 3 compliments about her from clients who just had a consultation. They said, by the way, that girl up front's lovely. Barbara Lopez, she's so nice. They know her by her name. So I want to thank you on here and publicly, Barbara, for all of your hard work and your dedication to our teams and to our clients, really, because it's important that they know somebody cares and you're just not, putting their concerns away. But we also do every morning, Barbara is required to put down a list of everybody who's coming into the office. And this way she knows every client by name who's coming in. So again, I thank you for taking your job so seriously and help making everyone else's job easy. So some attorneys have an assistant, but Barbara's kind of like the assistant to everybody when it comes to phone calls and communication. So thank you for that. What would you say we said was your favorite thing about the office, since we're talking about the office? What is your favorite thing about the office?
Well, it's right off the bat, it's the fact that it feels like we're a family. We support each other, we take care of each other, and we are comfortable with each other. And that's very important, especially in a work environment. I can't say the many times that I've had that experience that I love going to work.
We spend more time with each other than our families usually.
Exactly. And I appreciate the fact that we're so united in a way, and that's very important.
Well, I'm happy that you love the team. I know that everybody loves having you with us. We are going to talk about in a few minutes the announcement from the administration saying that if any universities go online completely, this is going to have pretty devastating consequences to the international F1 or M1 students. So we are about to get started on to discuss that. And Barbara, do you want to stick around while I talk about that?
Definitely. It's very important.
All right. So, and if you guys are here and watching, if you have any questions, please write a comment, and we will go ahead and try to address it for you tonight because we have time. So on July 6th, the Trump administration announced that any universities that go completely, fully online, that the international students would be required to depart from the United States. You know, this is completely devastating to over 1 million individuals that are here on lawful international student status. And they may be in their last semester. Perhaps they are, you know, completing a program and in a critical time where they're unable to stop their education system. And now they're being forced to leave for a situation which they can't control due to the pandemic. And universities are taking the position to protect these international students or to protect their students in general. And we want to make sure, I just got distracted by that. These universities are trying to protect students from the pandemic, and now international students could be affected greatly. So I want to give you all a couple of statistics about international students. All right. So there is 1.12 million in the United States. All right. 1 million. Now imagine if these 1 million people are not in the classrooms, how many teachers will not have work? How many millions of people are not going to be buying cars or buying groceries? They are paying incredible amounts of tuition and came here for a specific purpose to study and are not allowed to work in most scenarios. And it is the 4th largest export of the United States. I'm talking about automobiles, technology, international students. Imagine we just stopped shipping cars out of the United States, what that would do to our economy. And that's what could happen because of the 1 million people who are being forced to leave from the US if they go online. So the courses go completely online. But there is some good news. I mean, optimistic news. I wouldn't say good just yet, in the sense that many universities have filed suit or lawsuits against the administration for saying that this is a violation of so many students and of the college and university's rights. You know, a lot of these universities have contractual obligations with these students. So these programs are critical to our economy, to our education system, and it's really what just thing to do would be allow these people to finish their education. Barbara, I have a question for you about this, but before we do, I'm going to show my uncle Amma Adib's comment here. I love to see him, and I cannot be more proud. Amma, thank you so much. I love you. I appreciate you watching. And I remember him, one of my first memories as a kid, used to always bring me and my sister toys and chocolates and things like that. And he was our favorite person to visit in New York. And here's his friend, my dad, making fun of him. So, or saying, haha, hello. But they've always been good friends, and thank you both for watching. So Barbara, the international students, this news hit. What can you say affected our office, or how would you say it started to ripple into our office?
Yeah. Well, prior to this, it was the COVID issue, right? With the schools going online, and obviously a lot of international students being concerned about the mode of education changing to strictly online. And what we've seen since COVID started has been an increase in calls from international students because of not being able to be in the classroom. And with this recent change, it's gone up substantially.
We have students. There was someone here yesterday who has been here for 4 years studying, is going to graduate, and now doesn't know if the last semester they're going to be able to finish. It's really kind of unfortunate, in my opinion, cruel. Yes, Harvard University is suing, and so is MIT and other schools as well. But University of Florida and even Penn State, they've decided that they're going to require every student take at least one class in person. And this under the administration's or the student exchange visitor program that is called a hybrid model. So if your university is going to adopt a hybrid model, then you should be protected. Now, if you go completely online, they're saying you need to leave the country or you can face deportation or removal proceedings. Now, this is double bad because we are in the pandemic, right? And if a student is forced to leave, then most embassies and consulates abroad are closed. So we have limited options of bringing these individual backs because we don't know how long it's going to take to get an appointment at the embassy or the consulate in order to return to the U.S. and whether or not their country is going to be allowed to come in. There's so many countries that have bans because of their COVID numbers. So this is really scary times for international students. There's changes happening hourly, and we will promise to keep you all updated. And that's why I do emphasize that you guys follow us on social media or subscribe to our newsletter. This way, I mean, it's going to be faster than getting a phone call from us because the second we hear the news, we are posting about it right away. Now, you can definitely do a hybrid course, and if you do one class in person, you could take more than one class online. So I think that one class in person is going to be the saving grace for a lot of people. So as mentioned, tomorrow I will be speaking about this with the UCF Town Hall. We hope to have more information for you all. And then we will continue to update you and see what's happening. If you have any questions or concerns, if you're at Valencia or UCF or whichever school, reach out to us and we'll see if there's anything else that we can do to assist you. We have, 4 or 5 languages capabilities in our office. And I think this student program, if it remains these changes, it's going to completely destabilize the international students and the universities, as for many of these schools, a good majority of their students are actually international students. So that means loss of jobs, loss of people spending money, renting. Sometimes they buy houses, and they're not allowed to work for the most part, minus few exceptions. And if they are, it's typically within their field or on campus. So the idea that we're trying to save jobs is just not doesn't make sense to me when there'll be teachers losing their jobs and items not being sold. So that is the latest updates on the F1 and M1 students. If your school is doing a hybrid program, you should be protected under these new guidelines. If it's full online, according to the July 6th update from SEB, then you're going to have a problem. So work with your university, try to find the solution, reach out to us. Quick update, the immigration courts in Florida are still closed for non-detained cases. So only those people who are detained or incarcerated are having hearings. They're set to open on July 24th. Here we have a question. Let's see here. Okay, so this question is actually very relevant. Thank you, Mutaz. Basically, there's green card holders who are outside the United States and they can't come back because many countries have airports that are closed. And for a lot of them to apply for a reentry permit, you're supposed to be inside the United States. And that really doesn't make sense. If you're outside, you can't apply for this document. My guess or assumption is you're not the only one. The people who's dealing with that, there's probably hundreds of thousands of people in that situation. And due to the airport closures and the travel ban, you would be able to demonstrate the exception to the 6-month rule, which is outside of your control. Now, if you're going to be gone for more than a year, you may have to seek a reentry permit from the embassy or the consulate directly. So make sure you look for that. But I would document that your flights were canceled. I would show proof that the airport was not operating, and show multiple times of you trying to return to justify why you were not able to. And I think you should be fine if you travel with those documents. So just want a quick reminder, next week will be our Facebook Live in Arabic. So if you want to email us your questions, Miss Besma will be here. Shout out to Besma. I was just on her Instagram on Tuesday talking about the census. So if you haven't completed your census, please take the 2 minutes or less it does to finish the census. And this is important because depending on how many people are in our cities or in our homes is how much assistance or services are provided. And for those who are ethnic, Arabs have never been counted before in the census. For the most of us, we've been considered white under the American guidelines. So like my transcripts, for example, said the race of white. So this year you are able to select your ethnicity, Palestinian or Arab, Syrian, and this is critical because we want to show the true representative of what our country's makeup is. And our country is so great because of everybody from all over. So please complete your census. If you are an international student, reach out to your school to make sure. Look for us next Thursday. راح نكون بنتكلم بالعربي. إذا عندكم أي سؤال تفضلوا. Subscribe to our newsletter and YouTube channel. And reminder of our new service with Attorney Ben Hunter for wills, trust, and estates. Barbara, anything you want to add? I've been talking for a few minutes now.
Yes. The COVID guidelines that we're following.
Oh yeah. So go ahead. So we do meet with clients. We are encouraging Zoom. And what else, Barbara?
Okay. So essentially when clients come in, we provide masks if they don't have one. We also have sanitizer in the front. We are following the guidelines to maintain a 6-foot distance from everyone. We are cleaning the conference room between every consultation and meeting. And we are also taking temperatures.
Yeah, I mean, we try to follow the CDC guidelines. We want to protect you all. We want to protect my team, us. There have been in Orlando a few people that we know who have been tested positive, and they are suffering some severe symptoms. So for all of you who are watching, please stay safe. I love Orlando. I love our country, and everybody keep doing their best and fight for the best version of ourselves. Be registered to vote and make the best version of our country. So thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you next week in Arabic. And then the following week, we have some other special guests where we're going to have an employment attorney who can talk about your rights under employment law. We're going to have a business attorney to talk about different things businesses need to be careful with the whole COVID requirements and what you can and can't do with your employees. So you want to make sure you are staying up to date. Every day, you don't have to be an immigrant or a car accident attorney to know, or a client, that you need to stay on top of things, and there's changes constantly happening, and we will continue to do our best to give you these updates. And Barbara, thank you again for staying late. It's 7 o'clock. I expect you here tomorrow at 8:30. No excuses.
Of course.
And we will see you all tomorrow, and I hope everybody has a great night. And thanks for tuning in on this week's Mubarak Laws Facebook Live.
Night, everyone.